Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome back to Around the World Today. I'm your host, Terry Davies, and in today's episode we are heading to one of the most isolated places on Earth. Tristan da Cunha. This tiny island in the South Atlantic Ocean is part of the British Overseas Territory of St Helena, Ascension and Tristan da Cunha, and is often referred to as the most remote inhabited island in the world. Tristan da Cunha's distance from the mainland is over 2,000 miles from the nearest continent. It makes life here unique. The island has a small population, limited access to the outside world, and an economy that's deeply connected to nature. So, how do people of Tristan da Cunha manage to live such isolation? And what challenges and opportunities does this remoteness present for the islanders? Stay with us as we explore what life is really like on Tristan da Cunha and the challenges the island faces and how community maintains its way of life in this fascinating part of the world. Let's start by setting the scene. Tristan da Cunha is part of the archipelago located in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean. This island itself is volcanic, with a rugged landscape dominated by a towering peak that rises over 2,000 meters above sea level. It's incredibly isolated, so much so that the nearest inhabited island is St Helena, more than 1,200 miles away, and the closest continent is Africa, more than 2,000 miles away. The island is home to just under 300 residents, all of whom live in the island's only settlement, Edinburgh of Seven Seas. The community is small and tightly knit with a strong sense of identity and self-sufficiency. Life on Tristan da Cunha revolves around the island, the sea, and natural resources that the island provide. Economic survival, fishing, farming, and limited trade. Given its isolation, Tristan da Cunha has a unique economy that relies heavily on the natural environment. Fishing is the island's main industry, practically lobster fishing. The Tristan rock lobster is prized, commandery, and the island exports lobster to Europe, the United States, and Japan, which provides a critical source of income for the islanders. In addition to fishing, the community practices a small scale of farming. Each family on the island tends to their own plots of land, growing vegetables and keeping livestock like sheep and chickens, while farming is essential for local consumption. The island's rugged terrain and limited arable land mean that agriculture is primarily subsistence-based rather than a major economic driver. Due to its remote location, trade with the outside world is limited. Tristan da Cunha's only contact with the outside world is through the ships that visit each year. Supplies are shipped to the island just a handful of times annually, making it a challenge to get certain goods or to maintain regular communication with the rest of the world. It's sounding like a lovely place, isn't it? One of those places you wish to go uh, to get away from it all. So, government and self-sufficiency and British oversight. Tristan da Cunha is a British overseas territory, but it enjoys a high degree of autonomy. The islanders have their own local council, which handles most of the day-to-day affairs and decision-making on the island. However, as part of the wider territory of Saint Helena, Ascension, and Tristan da Cunha, the island ultimately falls under the jurisdiction of the British government. The local council is made up of elected members from the island's small population, and they work closely together to ensure that the community's needs are met. This includes everything from education and healthcare to managing the island's natural resources. Although the UK provides some financial and administrative support, the islanders take great pride in their ability to maintain a largely self-sufficient way of life. Environmental protection and sustainability. This is important, isn't it? I'm forgetting this from this series. Sustainability. We all must start thinking more sustainable. Tristan da Cunha may be remote, but its environment is fragile. The island is home to a range of unique wildlife, including several species of seabirds, penguins, and seals. The waters surrounding the island are also rich in marine life, making it sustainable fishing practices a priority for the islanders. In recent years, the island has taken steps to protect its environment by establishing one of the world's largest marine protection zones. This conservation area covers nearly 700,000 square kilometers of South Atlantic Ocean and is designed to safeguard the marine ecosystem, to prevent overfishing, and to preserve biodiversity. However, the environmental protection doesn't come without its challenges. The island's remote location means that intensive species, extreme weather, and the impact of climate change are constant concerns. The Tristan da Cunha's residents have a deep connection with their land. and sea. And they are committed to ensuring the future generations continue to live on the island. Challenges of being in isolation. Could you imagine it? There's health, there's education and communication. Living on one of the world's most remote inhabited islands comes with its fair share of challenges. One of the biggest is access to healthcare. While there is a small medical facility on the island, more complex medical treatments require residents to travel to South Africa, which can take several days by sea. The island has a visiting doctor and nurse, but the lack of a permanent hospital means that the medical emergencies can be a serious concern. Education on the island is provided through a local school that offers primary and secondary education. However, when children reach the age of 16, they often leave the island to continue their education in the United Kingdom or South Africa. This presents its own challenges, as many young islanders struggle with the culture and social differences they encounter in the outside world. And some of them enjoy it and stay. Communication with the outside world is also limited. There's no airport on Tristan da Cunha, so travel to and from the island is only possible by boat. It can take up to a week to reach South Africa, which is the island's main point of contact with the rest of the world. There's also no mobile phone coverage, and internet access is slow and unreliable, making it difficult for the islanders to stay connected to global events. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? I wouldn't know well, I would, but I wouldn't know for like a month. A community rooted in tradition. Despite the challenges of life on Tristan da Cunha, it's built around community. The island's residents are incredibly self-sufficient and resourceful. Traditional crafts, music, and storytelling play a big part in maintaining the island's cultural heritage. Islanders take pride in their ability to live sustainably and to work together to preserve their unique way of life. Each year, the island holds several community events, including the Tristan da Cunha Day celebrations, where islanders come together to celebrate their history, culture, and achievements. The island's isolation has fostered a strong sense of solidarity and cooperation, which has helped Tristan da Cunha weather many storms, both literally and metaphorically. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Tristan da Cunha may be the most remote inhabited island in the world, but its people have a connection to their environment. Next time on Around the World Today, we'll be visiting Turks and Caicos Islands, a tropical paradise. Actually, no, we won't. We'll be visiting somewhere else, I believe. And it's not a tropical paradise. It's a very frozen place because we're going back to or up or down or somewhere. We're going to the Antarctic, okay? So, yeah, until next time. We've been visiting, to Tristan da Cunha today. You can read some more information on our blog, on our website. And I'm Terry Davies. Thank you for listening to Around the World Today. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Until next time, have a great day.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.